Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're chatting about the Great American Smokeout. That is today. It's basically a nationwide effort to help people quit smoking, give you some tips and ideas, and of course let you know how bad it is really, right? So unfortunately that is part of it. We're going to chat with Athena Ramos right now. She is a member of MOTAC, and they are a local organization here in Nebraska who, have the get-go, have all the numbers ready for us when it comes to smoking and the statistics for adults and children and that kind of thing. So, Athena, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us at the Alert Center this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really glad to be here.
Awesome. So talk a little bit about MOTAC. What does that stand for, and who are you guys? Give us a little bit more detail if you don't mind.
Sure. MOTAC is the Metro Omaha Tobacco Action Coalition. We're a coalition that was formed in 1992 to strengthen tobacco prevention and control efforts in the Douglas County area. So over the last, number of decades, we have been on the forefront of fighting tobacco through community action. So we've worked on things like putting tobacco products behind the counter, helping to make Omaha a smoke-free city, and working with businesses and schools and college campuses and so forth to try to make more smoke-free places available throughout our community.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And then recently, you had a Hanscom Park cleanup. So you and your group kind of went out there and tell us a little bit more about that. There are a lot of smiling faces in these shots you're about to see. There we go.
Sure, this is a really fun day. So every year, MOTAC celebrates World No Tobacco Day, which is on May 31st. And we go out to area parks and we clean them up because we find that one of the most littered items, actually, research has documented that one of the most littered items on the face of the entire planet is cigarette trash, tobacco trash. And so we go out to the parks and we clean up the parks, and we're especially looking for tobacco trash because one of the efforts that MOTAC has is to try to make Omaha parks tobacco free. And so we're trying to educate the community about tobacco-free parks and why those are important.
Sure. Okay. Wonderful thing that you're doing there. I love it. Tell us a little bit more about today, the Great American Smokeout. What is this exactly?
Sure, the Great American Smokeout is an annual event that's always held on the third Thursday of November. The idea behind the Great American Smokeout is that we try to encourage people to quit, even if it's just for one day, to try to quit using tobacco. Or it's also a time for all of us who are not using tobacco to help our friends and to support our friends and family members who may be using tobacco, encourage them to quit, help them to create a plan so that they can quit successfully. What we do know is here in Nebraska, 7 out of 10 tobacco users want to quit. And sometimes people just need a little extra help. And so that's what the Great American Smokeout is all about. It's about that encouragement, providing that support, helping people connect into the resources that are already existing here in our state, and helping them to be a little bit more successful when they actually do attempt to quit.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm going to show this cigarette. It's figure 2.1. So let me head over here. You're just talking about, majority of Nebraskans wanting to quit. And, it looks like just from taking a quick glance at this graph, there are 4 category cigarette use statuses in Nebraska. So let's see. You can see on the bottom here. Actually, let me make this a little bit more clear for you. Let's see if that works. Oops, not that one. Let's try this one. There we go. Okay, so you can notice at the bottom of the graph, so this is every day, some days, former, and never. And it's pretty straight across the line. I mean, what are your comments on this graph?
Yeah, tobacco use has declined over the last number of decades. Currently, about 12% of Nebraskans are smoking cigarettes. And about 10% of young people, high school students, are using e-cigarettes. So we see that that's really, we're making good progress. There's still a lot of room for more work to be done, but we feel like we're making good progress overall. We do want, obviously, we want to create a social norm, a community norm where tobacco use is not part of that equation. And so we'd love to have more people who quit using tobacco and try to encourage more young people to not start using any type of tobacco, including e-cigarettes.
Yeah, and that's something that, just from doing some research on my own, I mean, it seems like the whole vaping thing has kind of been a trend lately. especially among the younger generation. So here's that table 4 e-cigarette trends among Nebraska high school students from 2015 to 2023. So you just kind of go up and down this graph here. What are your thoughts on these numbers?
Hmm. Well, if you look across the top line, those are the high school students that had ever tried, who had ever used any type of e-cigarette product. And you can see from 2014, it went skyrocketing
Right.
all the way up through 2018, 2021, very high. But we are encouraged by the rates that we're currently seeing right now in 2023. We're starting, well, I think we might have hit the peak and now we're coming back down. So we are encouraged by that. You can see on the next slide in 2023, only 10% of young people are currently using e-cigarettes.
Yeah. Okay. So there is hope out there, right? And I feel like this is, we've been drilled, at least in my day and age, we were drilled that this is very highly addictive, right? So I mean, don't start when you're
Absolutely.
young. It'll carry with you, unfortunately.
Absolutely, yes. Nicotine is very, very addictive. And smoking and secondhand smoke continue to be the leading cause of preventable death and disease in our country. So
Wow.
there's a lot of work that we all need to do to try to keep each other healthy, because part of this is taking care of one another.
Right.
And I think by encouraging people to quit and by ensuring that young people don't start, we're making a little bit of headway in that respect.
Yeah, and I noticed on your website, motac.org, if you kind of scroll down here, you have more information on smoke-free housing. I mean, some people, some friends of mine said they grew up with cigarette smoke in their homes, and so this might be a good resource for children, depending on their age, and parents to kind of take a look and find out what they can do, right?
Absolutely. We've been spending a lot of time on smoke-free housing, actually, and in trying to work with property owners and managers to create smoke-free building policies so that this is the norm, that you don't have to live in an apartment complex or in any other type of housing where you're breathing in somebody else's secondhand smoke. We do have resources on the website. So if you are somebody who's on the market for an apartment or looking for housing, that you can go and search for smoke-free housing. So if that is something that is very important to you, and I'd hope it'd be very important to you, because it is a really important thing for your health to live in a smoke-free environment. And we
Yeah.
have that information available to you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm kind of
We also
showing
have
our.
information about property owners and managers. So if you are a property owner or a manager and you need some resources about how to go about establishing a tobacco-free policy, or how to enforce a tobacco-free policy, MOTAC is here for you, and we want to provide that technical assistance and that support for you.
Yeah, that's just wonderful. I appreciate learning more about you and what you guys do, Athena. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you again.
Take care.
All right, so if you are just joining us at the First Alert 6 Alert Center, we just were chatting with Athena Ramos with MOTAC, and it's their job. They stand for Metro Omaha Tobacco Action Coalition. Today is the Great American Smokeout. They're trying to lessen the number of people who smoke here in Nebraska, here in Omaha, and so that was our topic for today. We should have more information on this story available for you during our second half of our 4 p.m. broadcast. In the meantime, do kind of want to go over weather, right? I mean, it was cold out there this morning, if I do say so myself. So let me get over to one of our cameras here. Here's a closer look for you, a live look from Blackstone. So it's pretty and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty cold when I woke up anyway and walked the dog out. It was around like 25 degrees. I couldn't believe it. So according to Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord, he says today expect partly cloudy conditions, breezy out there, a high of 41 Burr. He says tonight partly cloudy, a low of 25. Let's take a look from our First National camera here. A look at the Desert Dome, the sun just glimmering off the dome there. So yeah, camera shaking around a little bit, but not too badly compared to yesterday, right? It was just horrible, moving all over the place. So what can we expect for Friday into the weekend? Partly cloudy, a high of 44. And then Rusty says Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high of 52. So let's head over to 144th and Dodge and kind of take a look at what's happening over there. Yeah, again, a beautiful blue skies, sunshine, we love it. Looks like traffic's flowing smoothly. Can't see any accidents or anything that looks questionable at this time, so we'll take it. And Rusty also says expect 50s to 40s in Lincoln for the final home game, so something to look forward to there as well. Now, for more information, you can always head to our website. That's firstalert6.com. And here we have all these updates for you. Our top story currently, the delivery van driver who's being hospitalized after crashing into a train in South Omaha. So we have that information for you. You can always, of course, follow our First Alert 6 weather by clicking on the tab and get a little bit more detailed information from Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. So here's a look at today and just by the hour what we can expect. So some good stuff there. In the meantime, just want to say thanks so much for joining us today at the First Alert 6 Alert Center. We'll be sure to keep you updated with the latest news and weather all day long. So make sure you join us for First Alert 6 at 3. See you then.